It is Transformational Tuesday. I'm on the East Coast, Midwest, excuse me, East Coast. I think I'm in Pennsylvania, where I'm from. Sorry about that. Midwest, 9 o'clock at night, Tuesdays, and we know it is Transformational Tuesday. And I'm going to talk about the 5 warning signs that what you've done in the past will not work going forward in the future to move your career forward. So, for those of you who may not know me, hello, I'm Linda Talaferro from the T, the Extra Effort. That is a company I started now this May. It's been 3 years ago, 2017, career advisory firm where I'm focused on helping professionals get unstuck, get a sense of awareness, like I'm going to talk about tonight, so that you can shift the trajectory of your career. And what I love to say is get your seat at the table. So, again, what I'm going to talk about tonight are 5 warning signs that what you've done, you may have heard it said before that what got you here won't get you there. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. Um, it's so important for us to be aware, to be fully aware of who we are and what we bring to the table. And sometimes that awareness can be painful. We need the mirror put in front of us. And I haven't done one of these types of lives in a while, and I felt that it was necessary because I know for me, when I had the mirror put in front of me, it made a world of difference. Did I like everything I saw? No. Did I like everything I heard? No. But it's necessary. And so that's what I'm going to talk about tonight. I may push some buttons for some of you. Hopefully, it will be a push in the right direction. So let's start with the first one. Of the 5 warning signs. Okay, so here's the first one. Telling the world telling the world how smart you are, telling the world that you are the smartest person in the room. I mean, there, I love to say this: wealth whispers, right? So the wealthy people usually don't go around touting their wealth. Wealth whispers. Intellect needs to whisper as well. Nobody likes a know-it-all in the room. Nobody likes a know-it-all on the team. So if you've been experiencing that in the past, things were gunning and working well for you and everybody wanted you around, but lately nobody does. Probably if you are reminding everybody how smart you are, that's enough. They already know, first of all, because that shows up in how well you make a difference, the value you add, the problems that you tend to solve. You don't have to go around telling everybody how smart you are. Not long ago, I was asked to help someone that's looking for an opportunity, and they had applied online for an opportunity, and I happened to be connected to the company. So a friend of the friend referred me, and so we talked. And I will tell you, that first phone call, I thought, oh my gosh, I mean, it began really good, but 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in, I wanted to go. I mean, I had enough. I was like, if I hear any more about yes, I read your resume. The bomb, you know what you're doing. There is no doubt about it. But if you want me to recommend you or put in a good word or contact a friend of mine who may be the hiring manager, the last thing you want to do is be all about I already know how smart you are. I got it in the first 5 minutes of the call. I could read it in the resume. Your representative told me about it. The rest is showing me what value you bring as a team member, how you can move a team forward, collaborate, drive, and inspire. Not all about I. And we had several email exchanges because they weren't getting it. They were so much talking about themselves that numerous times they would even interrupt me in the midst of a sentence or in the midst of some feedback. You want to know why? Because they were more focused on what they had to say, not even paying attention to what I had to say, because what they had to say was more important. Why? Because they're the smartest person in the room. And clearly, Linda, you have to know that. That's why I know I'm the right person for this role. There's nobody else that walks the face of this earth that can do this role but me. Major turn off. So if that has been you up until this point in your career and you're wondering why you have struggled and you haven't been able to get on the other side, that's probably why. People are tired. They already know. And the downside of that is that you bring value. You bring value. But they would rather have someone else on the team that's willing to learn, that also brings value, and that recognizes there's other people on the team that's worth being there as well. So, first one, telling the world how smart you are, not going to keep you in the room. Secondly, having to win. Irrespective of what the issue is, you have to win. I mean, at all costs, you have to win. Especially in some cases, if it costs someone else. But come hell or high water, you're going to win. That's another warning sign. If you always have had to win in your career, and you look back and you see in your wake bodies because you've had to win, no wonder why you can't get a seat at the table. People see that. And I'm telling you, no doubt, there are people that are in leadership roles that operate the way I'm talking tonight. I know that there are. I'm not naive, but I will tell you, they don't last in those roles. I know for a fact they don't last in those roles. And they definitely don't progress. So, telling the world how smart you are and having to win at all costs, warning signs that you keep doing that will not progress you any further. The third one, passing too much judgment. You always have this thing where you have to point the finger and point out when somebody else is wrong. You always have to point out other people's flaws. You always have to point out other people's opportunities, what their weaknesses are. I like to call them opportunities, but you have to point out their weaknesses. Why? Because you got to be better than everybody else. You're that same person that tells everybody how smart you are. So therefore, everybody else in the room is a waste. And if they make a mistake, you're going to make sure that everybody, and gets blown out of proportion when actually the mistake is a learning process. That mistake they made, you know why? Because they're trying, because they're putting in the extra effort. Yes, they need to be making mistakes. But you, though, you're going to be passing judgment. Instead, you need to help more, judge less. So that's a warning sign for you. If you find yourself always pointing the finger, there's this old saying, you point your finger, 4 or 3 are pointing back at you, and maybe your thumb is too. And that is so true. So help more, judge less. So the fourth one I want to talk about is adding value too much. Now you might think, what the world is she talking about? How could you add too much value? Here's how. Somebody is presenting, or somebody brings up an idea, you have to comment, add to the idea, or take that idea over. And then all of a sudden, the person that brought up the idea, the person that might even be presenting, is non-existent because you've taken it over. Adding too much value all the time. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with commenting. There's nothing wrong with adding value now and then, but constantly taking every person's idea to the nth degree, or taking it over, or overstepping your bounds in a presentation. Come on. I mean, the need to be seen is a problem. That's a warning sign. If you've done this the majority of your career, you're not going to move forward. You will be stuck if you've done that in the majority of your career. So I'm going to go through the 4 again before I hit the 5th one. Telling the world how smart you are. Number 1, warning sign. Nobody wants a know-it-all. It's probably why you haven't moved forward. Having to win at all costs, irrespective of the issue. Not going to continue to get you to the next level. Passing judgment too much. Help more, judge less. If that's not been you, that's a warning sign. And the fourth one that I just got through talking about is adding value too much, to the point where you're taking people's ideas over. And the fifth and last one I want to talk about is destructive comments. There's such thing as giving feedback. Constructive criticism, absolutely. But being destructive for the point of tearing someone down or to show you're better than, clearly is not going to move you forward. That it doesn't, it does nothing but show your weakness, actually. It doesn't show your leadership skill, it shows your weakness when you do that. Feedback is a valuable tool, and it's difficult enough for people to get. There's no need for it to be destructive on top of it. So these are 5 warning signs. If as I've gone through these 5, if you've seen yourself in any of these and you've done them to this point in your career, and you're wondering why you can't get to the next level, that's why. Any one of these, doesn't have to be all 5, any one of these. And I like to sum them all up into one comment or feedback to you. Remember, feedback's a tool, and that is you're in your own way. You got to get out of your own way. All 5 of these things are things you're doing that are causing you to be in your own way. Nobody else is doing them. You are. And if you want to start getting out of your own way, you need help. You need to see the way. You need a few positive tools so you can flip the script. Click the link and get these 7 keys because they will help you shift this dynamic you have going on where you're working these 5 areas that I've talked about. And, maybe earlier in your career, go-getter, working hard, like a head down doing your thing. Maybe they worked for a short period of time. I am here to tell you, and I'm a testament. I know that I know they won't get you to the seat at the table. So like I said, if you need some help getting out of your own way, these 7 keys, that link I have there in the comments will help you get out of your own way, start you down the path of killing these 5 warning signs that have held you back in your career. So that's my transformational comments for tonight. Tuesdays, I just like to come with it. I am not that person that's going to sugarcoat stuff. It's serious about taking ownership of your career, taking ownership of your own issues, such that you can shift and turn them around. So like I said, if you see yourself in any of these 5, click the 7 keys and start shifting and killing them one at a time. Take care.